Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful Thursday, March the 11th. It's National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day. And it's time for the Wise Guys and Girl, sponsored by Kmart, the best in dead retail. As always, let's start with Sir and the weather.
Beautiful is an understatement. We've already reached our high of 18 degrees today. Going to be a bit of a blustery afternoon. The rain is a-coming, but it's still going to be a beautiful spring day, in my humble opinion. Warm and windy tomorrow as well.
How many millimeters of rain today, sir?
There'll be a couple of them.
Couple?
Not enough to need the oars.
No? Okay, good. So we won't have up to 5 millimeters of rain. That's good. But 5 brings us into our top 5 for today.
Well, and let's just chat about the top 5 ends in the world. Book, week, D, at my wits, and of course that great tune, It's the of the World as We Know It.
Indeed, a great tune. Excellent top 5. Thank you, sir. Well, National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day reminds us to thank the professionals who earn our respect by looking after every need during the most difficult time in a family's life. Funeral directors and morticians bring together the memories and accomplishments of someone we've lost. While the news settles in among family, these compassionate experts understand how emotional and stressful the process may be. Not taking great care would be a grave mistake. Hey, did you know that city morgues, also known as hospitals, are almost always square because of all the coroners? Yes, muted head shaking. I love it. All right, time to revive us. What are we listening to today?
We're actually listening to a recommendation from Paul, our illustrious leader. And it's an artist by the name of Nicole Buss. Paul, do you want to talk a little bit about Nicole, what you know of her?
I discovered her. I like to sort of just jump on YouTube and start hitting in, genres of music and then see what's out there. Sometimes I'll put in years and see if somebody's just released something. Anyway, I guess her genre was similar to something else I followed, and it was like a recommendation. And from what I can ascertain is she is originally from Holland and made some inroads there, and then chose to do what many artists do and come out to the States and did a collaboration with some musicians out in the States. And I thought she's put together some fabulous work, and I was struck with a live performance and a live album. And when I first heard the rendition, I subsequently have gone and listened to the studio version, but there's just something about a live performance that sometimes it's great if they can capture it and release it as an album, because that online magic of, as a musician, that there's phraseologies that sometimes you never really recapture again. It's also some mistakes that are captured and they're there for posterity, but they add to the overall ambiance.
Exactly, for sure. Yeah, the song that you recommended is called Rain, which it will eventually rain, I think, today. Right, Mark? Eventually, maybe? I don't know. Not calling for it, though. Not calling for it.
Well, they're calling for it. They even said 100%. Anyway, there'll be some rain.
So it's from the album Kairos, which was in 2019. And I think my favorite line, the line that really made me stop and think from the album, where is it? She says, "Bitter leaves are meant to heal now." And I thought, that's really interesting, I think, we've been trying to be positive and talk about love and things like that in the music. But, sometimes we don't always feel that way. Sometimes we're not always in that super positive mood. But I do like what she says, bitter leaves are meant to heal. So, at the end of the day, feel however you're feeling today, right? It's a little overcast, it's nice and warm. If you're walking outside because you need to walk off that frustration, then do that. If you're walking outside with gratitude, then do that. Just however you need to feel today, feel that way. But know that bitter leaves are meant to heal. So, love the song. She has a beautiful voice, beautiful tone. And yeah, really great new artist for me, for us. Nicole Buss, yeah, really deserves a good listen. So that's my pick for today. Thank you, Paul, for the recommendation.
Thank you. It's always nice to know that somebody else may enjoy the recommendation, because we certainly have the other way. So we're all feeling like if we can give back to you, who is a music aficionado, then that's a nice thing.
There we go. And if anybody else would like to make a suggestion, like, I'm all for it, right? I love discovering new things and new people. So now, it did say that Al Green was a writer on that song Rain, and I'm like, Al Green?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Al Green? Wow.
yeah. So anyways, I'm going to look into that, because that would be interesting. But yeah, it's Al Green. Oh yeah. It says he's one of the writers on the song, so I'm gonna look into that. But that would be really cool if she's. It kind of makes sense when you listen to the song. If it is the Al Green that we know of, it kind of has that smooth, mellow sound. So yeah, very cool, very cool.
Right on. Let's all jump on the bus and get this onto our
We can go there.
our playlist. All right, it is time for Ventures with Venturo. What do you have for us today, Venturo?
Hey, it's Thursday. I got some tech tips for you today. Today we're going to look at tips to try before calling the help desk. All right? So the first one is try turning the device off and back again. Can anybody say why we should do that? No?
It just resets everything. It makes it all better.
Yeah, it resets, right? So sometimes when you have your programs running and for some reason there could be a process or two on your computer that just simply stop working. So simply restarting your computer will just refresh and reset everything, and you're good to go again. So try that. The second...
Venturo, sorry,
Yeah.
does the computer have to be plugged in?
But what happens if I forget my password?
You know what? We're laughing, but let me tell you. When I used to work at that place that I used to work at, I made somebody restart their computer and they didn't know their password. And
I keep mine on permanently, so I don't ever have to remember it.
So listen, it's real. You gotta ask them.
We've hijacked Venturo's venture.
Hopefully you have your password safely written down somewhere, right? And trust me, guys, how would you guys function if you didn't sleep for a whole month, right? So you have to restart your machine at some point, all right? The second tip is thoroughly read every error message that pops up on the screen. And you're going to do that for two reasons. One, it will give you some instructions of how to fix the issue. And two, if you have to call help desk, then you want to tell them what the error message is. You can't just tell them that there's an error, right? The third one is try other programs to narrow down the problem. So if you're having an issue with your browser, let's say Internet Explorer, try using another browser, Chrome or Firefox, just to figure out if the issue is with that specific application. The fourth tip here is run an antivirus scan on your computer, or what we call a disk cleanup. That will often help as well. And the final tip is that you want to find out who exactly should you call about your IT issues, right? So sometimes it's not a help desk issue. Sometimes it could be an issue with your internet service provider. Or it might be an issue with a particular application, right? So you have to figure out who is responsible before you reach out to the people that support you. So that's it for Ventures from Ventura this week. Make sure you review these tips. They're pretty useful. That's it.
Ventura, I always use my cell phone to take a picture of the error message.
Yes, that
Yeah. Then I can't remember the password to get into it. So
The other thing is, if the message that you get is already giving you a number to call, don't call that number either. Okay?
Paul, maybe you could store your passwords on your computer.
Oh, that's brilliant, sir. Well done.
I also just realized the Al Green writing credit on that song is because she sampled a song by Al Green. I'm Glad You're Mine. So, James, you can probably add that to the playlist too, just to see how both songs sound together. I'm Glad You're Mine by Al Green.
Noted.
So I'm sure she got permission because we already talked about that this week. What happens when you don't get permission?
Yes.
Somebody's song.
Yes.
The lines are blurred.
Ventura, going back to, you said to read things thoroughly. That includes Apple licensing agreements, correct?
It includes all agreements, right? And we have this tendency not to read anything we just simply accept. Some of us might have even signed away our birthrights to stuff by just accepting stuff. But please read through everything before you accept, guys. It's very, very important.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that I think is going to take up the rest of the day because I got an Apple agreement to read here, and it's screen after screen after screen. So there goes today.
You aren't reading Genesis, are you?
I got to start somewhere. Why not start there?
Woo! Oh my
Goodness, Phil Collins, what a writer.
And a drummer.
All right. I think that brings us to Thursday's thought.
Oh, yeah. My thoughts are all over the place. The first thing I thought of is, who wouldn't want to take time out to recognize, the National Undertakers Day? And I thought, Dracula, of course. But that was there. On a more practical front, as I looked at my somewhat shaggy locks, although they are a little less than what they normally are, I was just thinking to myself, in a gray zone, is the funeral business allowed to do hairdressing?
I mean, I don't know if you really want to go all the way there.
All right. Well, that really could be it for us, everybody. Thanks for listening. It's been a great run and a great Thursday. We are the Wize Guys and friends, leaving you smarter and happier than you were yesterday.
And a disclaimer, I'm apologizing if any of the material here is a little stiff and but sometimes it's not
Thank
just
goodness we can edit these things out,
We should
right?
probably cut any second now.